Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, and you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who that it's naming, for the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your own road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are a-changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are changing. Yes, the times they are changing. For the times they are changing. Oh, the times they are changing. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, and you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who that it's naming, for the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are changing. Yes, the times they are changing. For the times they are changing. Oh, the times they are changing. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, and you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are changing. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who that it's naming, for the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are changing. Come senators, senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can lend your hand, for the times they are a-changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are changing. Yes, the times they are changing. For the times they are changing. Oh, the times they are changing. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, and you better start swimming, or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. There's no telling who that it's naming, for the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. far beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can lend your hand, for the times they are a-changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past.
So they turn it into a sports bar after we leave. Oh, yeah.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the womb. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world. Good morning. We've got Pete working hard already on the first song. You did well, Petey. All right, good to see you all this morning. We shall continue on with our song that I think you know already, right? We've sung this a few times. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Well, the door's unlocked, the lights are on. You'll find the place of rest in the arms of Spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you seek and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe the tears away. While the Father waits with open arms. God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Well, there's room enough in the house of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in.
And good morning, everybody. Wow, it's so fun to see some returning folks that we haven't seen in a while. Welcome back. Welcome to all of those on live stream and on Facebook, watching us from the comfort of wherever you are. And we hope you're comfortable. Our thoughts go out to those of you who have tested positive for COVID, and healing prayers are with you. Those who are here and those who have come as our snowbirds are returning, tell me what a difference it is to come to our sanctuary and hear the music and the service live. So if you have that possibility, please do come. We remain safe here with every other row blocked off to give us some social distance, and we all wear masks, and it feels safe in here, so please do come on out if you can. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Bev Spivey. It's my joy to minister here with my husband, Reverend Lawrence Palmer. And we are also happy to have our wonderful musicians, always, under the direction of James McCoy.
Happy New Year, everyone. Good to see you. We have Mr. Peter Wallace with us once again at the piano and the keyboard. Mr. Jeff Renza at the drum set. Of course, our featured soloist is Samantha Natalie Wallace. And did you recognize that first song that we played? Did you recognize that one?
Yeah.
Morning is Broken by Cat Stevens. We like that one. And we also have music from an artist by the name of Monique Danielle. And then I know Cynthia will be glad. We also have a song from Daniel Namad.
Good. We always look forward to your wonderful music. And if you are tuning in on Facebook, know that you can go to our website, unitypompanobeach.org. And for all of you, go there and catch our announcements, our upcoming events, any changes that we might have through the week. Easily to keep in touch with us there. We also have contact links that you can write in with your prayer requests. We'd love to hold you in prayer. Our prayer chaplains are diligent with their commitment to praying with us a couple times a day. So take advantage of those links on our website. Of course, with Power Hour, which is our hour before the service, it's our modern version of Sunday school. And it's a discussion group. We find that Sunday services don't lend themselves to feedback and discussion from you live during the service. So we want you to feel free to join in on Power Hour and get your questions and your ideas out there. This year, the Power Hour group is studying Course in Miracles. And some of you who are familiar with that may want to join in just to lend your insights to those who are struggling with this new concept in Course in Miracles. Of course, it's ably led by Cynthia Roberts, our licensed teacher. So we've been back and forth a little bit, doing a hybrid version in Fellowship Hall, but we are now on Zoom. Everything on Zoom for Power Hour, beginning at 9:30 every Sunday morning. And if you go to our website, you can register for that and get the link for that. We also, with it January, it's time for Membership Matters. And the first thing to announce to you today is that a nominating committee is formed according to our bylaws. It's being headed by Mark Anderson, one of our members, and Victoria Engelhardt, who was chosen last year at the annual meeting to serve on the nominating committee. And the board representative is Carmela Garone. So Mark Anderson, Victoria Engelhardt, and Carmela Garone are our nominating committee. And according to the bylaws, the committee receives all those who are interested in board service. If you will contact one of them, or if you have someone whom you think you would like to nominate, contact the nominating committee, and they go through all of the vetting and all of the process for board service, so that by the time of our annual meeting, we have 2 very valid candidates for the 2 open positions that come due every year. We have 2 open spots. So that's nominating committee, and if you would contact them if you are at all interested in board service. And this invitation is open for the next 2 weeks, and then the nominating committee will finalize the slate. Now, something exciting going on this very weekend, in fact, starting in an hour at noon, it's open to the public. We have a booth at the convention center for a bridal expo. And Wade is here this morning. He helped yesterday morning transport all the stuff that it takes to have a booth. The tablecloths, the banner, the things on the table, and 2 folding chairs. So some of our wonderful members have been serving there and interacting with the crowd and getting our name out. You see the picture there is that of the handout cards that we have. And we encourage all of you to promote our wedding business and anything else that would be a ceremony in this sanctuary with our new seating. And whether it's funerals, remembrance services, or ceremonies of any kind, large or small, we are promoting our beautiful space to be in use other than Sunday mornings. So keep that in mind, and let's send some prayers and blessings to Angela Katzen and her husband are serving at the booth until 2 o'clock today. And this afternoon slot, we've had some cancellations, so we will be packing it up. But we were there yesterday and did get some contacts. So it's our kickoff start to our wedding business. So our theme for this year as we move forward is a new view in 22. As we gain insights on just what our view has been and is and where we want to take it, Lawrence's lessons will center on that, and so will our music. So consider what new view you may have come up with for yourself as you went through our holiday exercises, our ceremonies of release at the Burning Bowl, and then White Stone, of getting some goals and perhaps New Year's resolutions. So this is our year for a new view. With that in mind, let's turn to the daily word for today, Sunday, January 9th. The word is guidance. Divine wisdom helps me discover my unique spiritual path. Tending to my spiritual life keeps me attentive to the whispers of my heart and in tune with my guidance. I am grateful for those moments I can rely upon my spiritual intuition and discern my path forward. But sometimes my guidance feels far away and hard for me to access on my own. At those times, I may seek the assistance of my trusted friends and advisors. I may seek the wise counsel of my minister or a spiritual counselor who encourages me to discover the wisdom found in the depths of my own consciousness. She, he, or they pray with me, listen with empathy, and share my joy as my innate wisdom leads me along my unique spiritual path. I am grateful for those who walk the path alongside me. And the scripture is from the New Testament, John 14:26. But the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you everything and remind you of all that I have said to you. And let's now prepare for a time of meditation.
I breathe out, I breathe in, I am still, I go within. When I quiet my mind, in the stillness I find, Spirit meets me there, Spirit meets me there. When I let go of my control, I find what truly satisfies my soul. When I quiet my mind, in the stillness I find, Spirit meets me there, Spirit meets me there. Spirit meets me there. Spirit meets me there. Spirit hears and answers every single prayer. Spirit meets me there. Ooh, Spirit meets me there. In the stillness, Spirit meets me there. Ooh, Spirit meets me there.
That song gives us a wonderful image and preparation for meditation. That assurance that Spirit indeed meets us there. And that Spirit waits on us to be present, to be open, to be aware. So I invite you, as you are accustomed to doing, find that very comfortable position for your body. You can give your body permission to relax, to let go, to let be. And you can give that same loving permission to your mind. There's no processing, no thinking, no figuring anything out. There's simply being. So with body at ease and mind at ease, your awareness is free to commune with Spirit. And we know that Spirit waits our attention, awaits our focus, awaits our presence. So as we allow our awareness to sink into that very deep of our heart, we find Spirit there. And as it is when you meet good friends, the conversation goes in many different directions, and you feel comfortable with whatever comes up. So is it with Spirit. We may go into meditation with an intention or an idea, a direction, and Spirit takes us in another one altogether. And that's beautiful as we allow that relationship to be. We allow that experience to be. We allow that sharing to be. So having found that comfortable space within our heart, we give ourselves to the stillness of this time. We give ourselves to the trust in Spirit. We give ourselves to the memories of all the blessings of times past. And we give ourselves with extreme joy and security into the keeping of Spirit in the stillness together. Now, as you prepare to move your awareness back to your body and your space and time, you know that even an instant during which your awareness is immersed in that deep of your heart, that healing and transformation take place. And you know that you can bring with you into your body, your heart, your mind, the essence of this experience this morning, and take that with you into this coming week. Anytime that you choose, you can take a deep breath and recall this experience and be blessed all over again. So with a deep sense of gratitude for this opportunity, I invite you to take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly through your mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes and we will sing together, Alleluia.
Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know, it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. Well, no more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. Oh, I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know is gonna be everything new. Well, I've survived many times before. Broken heart, oh, and slam the door. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. Gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. All I know, it's gonna be everything new. So bring it on, everything new, oh, everything different,
Good morning. Are you glad to be here? If you are, say, bring it on. Yeah. That song fits so perfectly right there, and the band did, as always, such a great job presenting it. Spirit is pushing me here to do this, despite I don't want to do it. Just want to let you know I'm okay. Several people have asked, what's wrong with you? You're moving really slowly up there. I'm having some trouble with my back. I got an ongoing presence and experience of sciatica, so I'm moving kind of weird. So it's okay. Be cool. All right? Now everybody knows. All right. We're starting something new, as the music might indicate to you, a new view in 22. I'm going to open with a passage of Scripture that is probably familiar to you out of Mark chapter 2. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, otherwise the new piece will pull away from the old, making the tear worse. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins, otherwise the wine will burst the skins, and both the wine and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins. Now, we've been having a lot of experiences here toward the end of the year. Like on Christmas Eve, we had a candle lighting service, which is a ritual we do every year, and that's very meaningful to a lot of people, especially to me. Then on New Year's Eve, we had our burning bowl ceremony that symbolized us moving from the old to the new, releasing all the things that we don't need anymore and embracing what it is that's coming up before us. Then last Sunday, we did a white stone ceremony where we go through the experience of Spirit giving you a new name or a new quality, a new characteristic in your life that you want to honor and recognize in the new year. Now, all this was not accidental. It didn't just happen. It was carefully planned to bring us to this point where we look very closely at just what is a new view. It's a cute little phrase, new view in 22. It just happened to rhyme like that. I didn't intend it. But what the heck does that mean anyway? Now, interestingly enough, or maybe unusually enough, the idea for the structure of this sermon today came from a video on woodworking. I was looking at through YouTube one day at some of the woodworking videos, and this guy made a cutting board, a kitchen cutting board, out of 1,000 pieces of wood. He cut, I grew up thinking a cutting board, you just glue a bunch of boards together and you're done. This guy cut pieces of wood into tiny little pieces and then started reassembling them. 1,000 pieces. And when he was finished, it took him like 3 months to do this. When it was finished, it was just amazing. It looked alive. It looked like it was moving. I mean, the intricate pattern that he created there. And he showed part of the process that he used to come to that place. He said, now, this is my final pattern. This is what I ended up with. But look what happens when I turn every fourth piece a quarter of a turn. And he did that, and it was a completely different design. It was just amazing. And he said, watch what I do when I do every fifth piece and turn it a half a turn. And again, it was another arrangement of it. Just absolutely amazing. It inspired me. I'm not going to make a 1,000-piece cutting board. It's kind of like jigsaw puzzles. You find one with 2,000 pieces, but you go back to the 100 pieces. I'm going to make one similar to that one day, but not quite that elaborate. But I thought this is such an incredible analogy to our lives, and especially for what we're thinking about today of this new view on our life. Now, I believe that every thought, every feeling, every experience that we have is registered in the energy field that is you. And all of those things brought together create a pattern that is revealed in what your life is. That makes sense to you? It did to me. That all these things come together, and our life is the life that we manifest out in the world is a conglomeration of all those experiences brought together in a certain way. Now, just like with that cutting board, if we could go back and change this and change this and change this, that pattern that our life would represent would be different than what it is right now. Now, if that can happen that way, what if we're very deliberate about the kinds of things that we think, feel, and do and accumulate that creates our life? What if we make that different? What if we look at it in a new way? And in talking about a new view today, There are two perspectives, if you will, that I want to utilize here. One of them is looking at different things. A new view means looking at different things. Now, if you hopped on a plane out of Fort Lauderdale, if you were lucky enough to get one now, and made your way to Colorado, where I lived for quite a while, and got off the plane, you would very soon have a new view. There would be new things to look at, like mountains that you don't see in Florida. You see sunsets like you don't see here. All kinds of plants you don't see here, animals you don't see here, all kinds of things like that. It would be a new view for us. And so is it today. I want to encourage you to open your eyes and your heart to a new view as we look at different things. Now, one of the things that works for human beings, that is both a survival technique and something that we can choose to do, is that we habituate, we acclimate, we get used to things. How many of you go to your favorite grocery store the same way from your house to there every time? And you come home at the same time. And you buy the same brand of pasta that you've bought for 30 years. The same brand of milk. We do the same things over and over again when they work. And that, in a sense, that's good. We don't have to make up our mind every time we go to buy a gallon of milk. We don't have to sit and think about it real hard to get where we're going, because we know how to get there. So it serves us well in that way, but it also can limit our possibilities. If I get into that place where there's only one way that I can go to the grocery store, then we're limiting ourselves as to what the other possibilities are. If we limit ourselves to the same 3 foods every time we eat, we're limiting ourselves to that experience. So it works for us, works for our good in that it keeps us going, but it also can create a rut that we live in, that we do the same things over and over again. And that you can do that if you choose to, but there's so much more out there that you don't see, that you don't experience. So as we talk about a new view, looking at different things, let's think about some possibilities. Now again, these may seem kind of silly. Why are you talking about this kind of stuff in church? Well, again, every thought, feeling, action adds to that composite of a pattern that is your life. So all of these things, even these mundane things, add to that on a certain level. Now, what if you were to decide to find a different way to go home from church today? I challenge you. That's not a big thing to dare you to do, but I dare you. I know I had a friend who taught gifted kids in middle school, and she told me one day that one of her kids came to school, was kind of upset with his father, and he said what he would love to do is tie his father to a tree and then fold up a road map the wrong way in front of him. So it was a little bit anal, I think, so he thought he'd do that. And I felt this little twist when I said somebody thinking about going home a different way was, no, I know how to get home and it gets me there every time. Why should I go a different way? Try it. I realized just recently, I've been here how long, baby? 6 years? And I came to church a different way than I'd come before. And I wasn't even sure what street I was on. Because going home and coming here, the houses are in the same order every time, and I'm accustomed to that. And it comes up for me. And coming here a different way, there were different houses. They were arranged differently. It was just a weird experience, an interesting experience. That's part of what got me thinking about this. So I challenge you to find a new way to go home from church today. The next time you go to the grocery store, go a different way. Go through a different neighborhood. You'd be amazed. You never knew that house was there before, did you? So little things like that can really make a difference. And our senses are so important for us in accumulating these experiences that form our life. We use our senses all the time. The scientists who study this sort of thing tell us that we have 11 million bytes of information, or pieces of information, going into our subconscious mind every second. 11 million pieces of information going into your subconscious mind every second. Now, obviously, you're not aware of that, or your head would explode probably. We are able to comprehend about 2,000 pieces of that 11 million pieces going into our brain. About 2,000 pieces of information our conscious mind can process at any time. And that's going on all the time. Right now, you are aware of a fraction of a degree change in the temperature in this room. You may not consciously say, oh, the temperature just changed, but you're aware of it on a subconscious level. And fortunately, all that stays at a subconscious level so that you don't have to process it, you don't have to deal with it, but it's going on. So we constantly have this input, and it, most of the time, is fairly consistent because we eat the same foods, we go to the same places, we drive the same cars, we go in the same way, and your brain just says, there it is. But what if we begin to change some of those things? What if you begin to try some foods you've never tried before? What if you tried chicken liver? What if you tried some kind of fancy food or some kind of down-home food? Down in the Bahamas, they have a stew called souse, and they make it with pig's feet and sheep tongue and mutton and other interesting things that some people would just run away from. Try it. See what happens. Have the peanut gallery back here. But really, it's something that wouldn't be totally obnoxious to you, but see what happens. You're adding a different experience to all of those things that make up your life. It's a tiny thing, but tiny things make a difference. Change something in that pattern of that cutting board, and it changed the cutting board. Maybe not in a way you can notice without looking carefully, but it does in substance. And so it is with us. As we change things like the food that we ate and our responses to it. And as we eat, we taste it and we process it. We think, oh, this is like something else. It's like something else. I remember having one time caribou. Never had caribou before. It was the most interesting thing. It had kind of a liver taste to it. It was very interesting. And I'm pretty open about trying new foods and new different. It wasn't that old. I say that about myself all the time, too. I'm not that old. Let's go ahead and replace it.
Want the handheld mic?
No, let's do this. All right, there we go. Everybody say yay. Bring it on. They don't teach in ministerial school how to handle situations like this. All right, where was I? Yes. The caribou was wonderful. It was a great experience that I want to have again. But you see where I'm going with this. The experiences that you have in your life happen, so many of them, automatically. What happens if we start changing some of those things? What if you started wearing a different style of clothing? What if a different material that you wear? I've got two different kinds of Sunday shirts. One is this kind of loose, slippery kind of material, and the other is 100% cotton. It's a different feel altogether. I like both of them, so I wear both of them. But what if you were to do something like that? Instead of wearing the same clothes over and over again, the same style, what if you changed it a little bit, just to play with it a little bit? That's an experience that's going to change the whole picture of what your life is. In a small way, of course, but every small way makes a difference when we do that sort of thing. What about the kind of music that you listen to all the time? What if you listen to some different kinds of music that you've never listened to before? And what if you listen to it and you don't like it? I had an experience a long time ago. I went to this concert at a church. It was a 4-part harmony gospel group. And the guy who sang the high part at the end, for some reason, I just did not like this guy. And I didn't want to listen to him singing, and I wanted to leave, but I couldn't. I had some other people there with me, so I was kind of stuck there listening to this music I didn't really enjoy. And then I started looking around at the people who were there. And I looked at the faces of the people who were just absolutely in rapture. They were just as happy as they could be. They could die and go to heaven right then and it'd be fine. They just loved what was going on in this concert. So I just forgot about the singing, and I started looking at the people who were enjoying it. And through them, I was able to enjoy it, whereas I would have been sitting there just miserable the whole time. Little things like that make a difference. Listen to some music that is different from what you're accustomed to, and realize somebody somewhere is listening to this in absolute bliss. And let that be your experience of it. But it's a different experience. It's a new view for you. And it brings new information into you. On and on I could go. When's the last time you went to a museum? There are a lot of them around here, and there's some amazing stuff in museums, and right now nobody's going. So if you can find a place open, you'd probably have it to yourself. But go to a museum and look at some art that you're not accustomed to looking at. Look at some things you've never seen before. I remember when I was in Italy and going and standing in front of Michelangelo's David. I'd seen pictures of it, but the real thing was a different thing altogether. You can look at pictures of art online, but standing in front of an incredible painting that someone has done themselves with their own hands is just astounding. So do that different. You've not done it before? Do it. You've gone in one place, go to another. And last of all, what about our olfactory senses, your sense of smell? How many of you have worn the same cologne or perfume for 30 years? Yeah. Try something different. How about that? Blow people's minds around you. When you show up, smell different when you get there. And watch what happens. It will be a different experience for you. And the simple experience of your senses perceiving and processing that is a different experience for you. It's a new view. And it makes a difference in who you are and what you are and how you show up. So one of the things we can do with this new view is to look at different things. Look at different things in your life. Now, the other thing is to look at things differently. Look at things differently from a different viewpoint. Now, I suspect that most of you go out into the world and have the experiences you have there. You have interactions with people, you make choices, you do things, and that all comes from the perspective of being oriented toward new thought. You're here, so you obviously are in that direction, and that shapes how you perceive the world. If your perception is of the truths that we teach in New Thought, that's going to shape how you see the world, how you experience that. But what if we look at things differently? Here's a dare for you. Pretend, use your imaginations, that you're an atheist. When you got into the world tomorrow, create the imagination that you are an atheist, that you don't believe in God. And say, okay, you don't have to really believe that, but pretend you do. What would it feel like if you didn't believe in God and you had the experiences you have every day? What would it feel like if you didn't believe in God and you had to make some really important decisions in your life? How would that feel? What would that experience be like? Well, doing that is a feeling and an experience that gets registered by your brain and becomes a part of this pattern that is your life. Do the same thing with Buddhism. If you know about Buddhism, what would it be like to go out into the world being a Buddhist? Or being Hindu? Or being Catholic? Or being Presbyterian? Or being Pentecostal? Or again, being atheist? How would it feel? What would it look like? What would the experience be like out in the world if you were of that bent of mind? Two things happen there. One is that affects you, how you perceive the world, but it also affects how you see other people. Because you realize if you'll spend a little time as an atheist making decisions, you'll realize, well, this is what the atheists go through all the time. This is what their life resembles when they have to make a decision. This is what the Buddhists do when they have a critical life decision to make. And it gives you a sense of empathy. It gives you a sense of understanding of where other people are and what other people are doing with their life. Pretend sometime you go out that you are a billionaire. You're driving down the street and you're a billionaire. Does it make a difference? You go to the grocery store and you're a billionaire. You make a decision about buying a new house and you're a billionaire. How does that affect you at all? When you have a hard decision to make, how does it affect you when you're a billionaire? When your best friend stabs you in the back and you're a billionaire, how does that feel? When you're unsure about things, when you're confused about things and you're a billionaire, what is that experience like? And on the other side of the coin, what if you have no money? I don't know whether any of you have ever been in that place or not, but not have the money for your next meal. What would that feel like? How would that affect how you see the world? How would that affect how the decisions that you make and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about other people? Play that out. Look at things differently. Look at things differently. Look at people differently. I saw in the news the other day in Virginia, in the middle of that horrific immediate blizzard that happened, people got stuck on the interstate for 15 hours in their cars. And people were running out of food and water and gas and everything else. And there was a trucker who took all of his food out of his truck and went and gave it to the people who were there in line. Now, how wonderful that is. How did it feel to do that? How would it feel to be that generous and that caring and that willing to help strangers like that? Imagine that, and that is an experience that gets painted on that pattern of your life. And imagine yourself being hurt emotionally. Imagine, again, your best friend betraying you. Imagine a relationship ending. Imagine somebody telling a lie about you. How would that feel? How would that shape your life? How would that affect your decisions that you're making? What would happen if you looked at it from that perspective, if you looked at things differently? Play with that. I challenge you to, because all of those experiences are part of that pattern that makes up your life. We're talking about a new view, and today won't be the last time you hear that term this year. We're going to be looking at a lot of things this year that come from you looking at things differently and looking at different things. So this is your life. I would encourage you to make it your year. Every once in a while I'll read horoscopes just for kicks. And sometimes they'll say, I'm a Leo. So, Leo, this is your year. And somebody else got that it's your year too. I thought it was my year. But it must be everybody's year. Perhaps this is your year for a new view, a new year to see different things, a new view of seeing things differently. It's your life. It is your year. It is your week, your day, your hour, your moment right now. It is yours. God bless you.
Well, you might as well start your assignment right now because it's offering time. And how are you accustomed to thinking about giving, to thinking about receiving, to thinking about prosperity or lack? Of course, in Unity, we have a prosperity consciousness, and we know that when we are in the flow of life, which means when we are not stressed about giving or receiving, we get into that flow where the abundance of the world is here for us as we recognize the signs and the avenues. This morning, as I talked about our wedding business, that's one way for us to bring income into the maintaining this property and our budget for staff and other programs and our musicians. So we encourage you to think about giving and receiving today. And if you're here, the offering plates will pass, and it's an opportunity for you to give. And if you're home, the opportunity is through the donate button on the website. And of course, you can always arrange with your bank to do bill pay. There's no cost to do that. And you can even make it easy by arranging recurring gifts. So whatever is your way of putting your energy into supporting spiritual work through Unity of Pompano Beach, we thank you for doing it, and we encourage you to bring it on. So let's hold our idea of giving today as we think about how willing we are to share with others, to give, to support spiritual work, and to support Unity of Pompano Beach. As we hold our offering, if we're present today or through the internet presence, we invite you to share in our blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen.
When I'm looking at myself, I see 1,000 perspectives of me. Everyone is letting me, showing me a side of myself I can't see. I'm wide awake now, I'm free of the doubt, don't wanna look down. And if I fall out, I lay on the ground and look to the clouds. It's like I got brand new eyes and I can finally see what has always been right there in front of me. And with these brand new eyes, I'm taking everything and I will finally see me. I can finally see, I can finally see it. I can finally see it. Couldn't let the world decide of all the things that I can or can't do. What if I had taken all the things that broke me and made them my truth? I'm wide awake now, I'm free of the doubt, don't wanna look down. And if I fall out, I lay on the ground and look to the clouds. It's like I got brand new eyes and I can finally see what has always been right there in front of me. And with these brand new eyes, I'm taking everything and I will finally see me. Oh, I can finally see, I can finally see it. I can finally see it. I can finally see it.
All right, here we go with brand new eyes. As we start into this week, it's such a pleasure to have spent this time with you. And we encourage you to speak to others and bring more people on out as we create our community here. Without the assistance of our fellowship time, it feels a little strange not to be able to get together in person and eat together. But we are still here as a spiritual community, and we're very much alive and welcoming each and every one of you. So, blessings on your week. Those of you who are here, let's stand and say Unity's prayer for protection as we bless each other today. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. and the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with Blessings are falling, are falling, are falling. Blessings are falling like a sweet, sweet rain. Blessings are falling, are falling, are falling on me. Beauty is falling, is falling, is falling. Beauty is falling like a sweet, sweet rain. Beauty is falling, is falling, is falling on me. Oh Lord, I receive your blessing. Oh Lord, I receive your grace. Oh Lord, I will dance forevermore. Oh Lord, I receive your blessing. Oh Lord, I receive your